You are now listening to The Dot.
What's up, guys? Greg here, and you are tuned into the March 2024 edition of The Dot, the show where we go over all the best new music of the month and feature songs and call-ins from artists that you may have overlooked in a busy month of new music. This month, we're going to cover songs from February 19th all the way up through March 22nd. The last Friday of the month will roll over as always, and I'm really excited to kick this episode off with our first artist. I'm actually going to go right into the music. We'll do the intro blurb with the music news right after this track. This artist initially released this song in the very beginning of the year in early January. I heard it. I was like, amazing track off first listen. Then he released an EP in February and put this song on the EP. So last month I did reach out to ask if he would join us. The artist is Michael Marcagi. The song is Scared to Start. Absolute masterpiece. Michael finally got back to me at the very end of February when the February episode is already released, but this track is just too good, so we're going to break the rules and go outside our allotted window here. And I think we get to do that when we have a song that's reached over 100 million plays on Spotify. The music video has over 2 million views on YouTube. All very well deserved. You'll understand when you hear the track. If you haven't heard it already, it's kind of blown up on TikTok. Michael Marcagi is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm going to throw it over to him to tell us a little bit about the song Scared to Start, and then we're going to listen to the track to kick off the episode. Enjoy.
Hey there, this is Michael Marcagi, and thanks for having me on The Dot. So Scared to Start was a song that I had written a while back, almost 4 years ago, but I could never really crack the code on how I wanted it recorded. I made a lot of demo versions of it that all sounded, really over the top and big and had a lot of drums and vocals and guitars, and just never really fit the vibe that I was kind of going for. Luckily, with the help of my producer, David Barron, who's in upstate New York, a few months ago I went up there and we just really connected and cracked the code on it, and he kind of got me to a space where we just took everything out and really simplified it. So there's not that many tracks on the song. It's just, a hollow body guitar with some piano and some mandolin and tambourine, essentially. And so I just kind of, by simplifying it, it really kind of brought the song to life and got it to a place that I'm really, really happy with. The song itself is about just, a relationship, being kind of young and dumb and willing to almost do anything to be with the person you're with, and how there's some beauty in kind of being naive in that. I hope you guys like it. Thank you for listening.
She's wearing an old dress, walking it out, waiting for someone to turn her around. But she won't believe you when you fall down on your knees. She fell asleep, listening to my friends, talking on and on about how the world ends. Then she wakes up and climbs in my front seat. And she said, don't you wait to try it. Are you scared to find it? And do you want to take my broken heart? Are you scared to start? Let's lay in the dead grass, stare at the stars, run away and live out of cars and bars. Let's just leave here, 'cause there's nothing left to see. And if that's wrong, let's make it right. And if you leave, just give me one more night. 'Cause there's no one that you'll find that's quite like me. And she said, don't you wait to try it. Are you scared to find it? And do you want to take my broken heart? Are you scared to start?
Huge shout out to Michael Marcagi for calling in and telling us about this song. We typically do not have songs that have those types of numbers, although I truly think all artists that I feature on the dot should have those types of numbers because I think they're all great in their own right. Michael Marcagi deserves all the credit he's getting, and I'm so happy he's getting the credit that he deserves. So I'm feeling myself. I told you I was going to go to the news after the first song. Let's keep up with the music. We'll get to the news when we get to the news. So let's go over to London and go to the artist Scout, who released her debut EP on March 1st called Everything Will Make Sense. Scout is an indie pop artist, and we're going to check out the song Who off of that EP. And Scout said on her Instagram when she released this EP in the beginning of March, she said that the EP is everything she could have ever hoped for and dreamed of. And thanks to people who've left their imprint all over this EP and herself for the rest of time. And she said she couldn't be more thankful. It was an awesome EP. Go check it out when you have a chance. But this song really stood out to me, and I think it'll stand out to you. This is Scout with her song Who. Enjoy.
You've been uncruel such a long time. 2 steps backwards, never one towards the light. Watch the whole world from the wrong side. It takes time to get yourself back up. Oh, come on, pick your side. You know that they will analyze. Don't dwell or fantasize. You know that it gets worse with time. They make you wanna be the problem, but who, baby, who are they really? To hide beneath their alibis and fingers full of cyanide. Who, baby, who are they?
Hello, Scout here. Thanks so much for having me on the dot. Here's a song about taking your power back. I'm a firm believer that you should never dim your light for somebody else, but it's not always words I've lived by, so this song is a reminder of standing in your truth, owning your story, and questioning why others get to have that power over you. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, come on, pick your side. You know that they will analyze. Don't dwell or fantasize. You know that it gets worse with time.
Scout there with that great song called Who off her EP called Everything Will Make Sense that came out on March 1st. Let's get to the news and notes from March as we ramp up into the busier months of the year when it comes to music releases, big album releases. I'll do the rundown, but I'm going to do a mini rundown right now of some of the artists that released albums for us this past month. MGMT, Ariana Grande, Schoolboy Q, Faye Webster, Bleachers, Liam Gallagher, The Libertines, Fortet, Justin Timberlake, Tierra Whack, Casey Musgraves, Waxahachie, Gary Clark Jr., Metro Boomin, and Future, and that had a Kendrick Lamar feature where he threw direct shots at Drake and J. Cole, so that was definitely newsworthy. And Ju, the producer, came out with an album. Adrian Lenker from Big Thief also came out with the solo album. So again, that theme of we didn't get a lot of big releases last year. Look at what we're getting early on in the year this year. Another thing to talk about here, a number of bands pulled out of South by Southwest this past month due to the festival's ties to the U.S. Army and defense companies like Raytheon in solidarity with Palestine. So South by, they usually are pretty loved by the music community. Speaking of festivals, Lollapalooza lineup came out, and it was a Lolla lineup. The headliners were SZA, The Killers. Well, it's like they just said yes to everyone this year. Tyler, the Creator. Glastonbury lineup, also came out. Really love that just because it's more UK based, and UK music I tend to gravitate towards a little bit more. Another thing that stood out to me was Cigarettes After Sex announced a global arena tour here in Philadelphia. I remember my girlfriend showing me, oh, hey, Cigarettes After Sex are playing at Wells Fargo Center. I said, oh, who are they opening for? Nope, they're the headlining act. They are headlining their own arena tour. Didn't know they were that popular. One of the top comments on the Indie Heads Reddit thread made a good point of, I'm unsure of how well their sound's gonna travel in an arena. Also, RKS finally comes out with some new music after a bit of a hiatus, a weird hiatus, right? They canceled a lot of shows. No one really knew what was going on with the band. We knew Ella was transitioning at the time, so everyone figured it had something to do with that. They finally make a statement saying they parted ways with the bassist Charlie Holt. It was handled, I don't want to say poorly, it was just handled in a weird fashion where the band put out a statement, in the same post Charlie put out an individual statement, and it almost seemed like there was some unresolved issues between the two statements, leading to a lot of people asking, like, don't you have a PR person that can handle this? Catfish and the Bottlemen are back, right? We saw them come out after they've been on a hiatus, headlining Readings and Leeds Festival, and they finally put out a new track. You have to imagine an album's coming. Catfish and the Bottlemen, in my mind, is a lot like Drake, and hear me out here. When they put out music, there's nothing about their music that's going to win you over if you're not already a fan of them, right? Not to say a lot of their music sounds the same, but if you like Catfish, then you would have liked this single that they put out. I think Drake's the same way, right? If you like Drake, you like when he puts out music. If you don't like Drake, he's not doing anything to win you over. I think it's the same situation with Catfish, but I'm a Catfish and the Bottlemen fan, so I'm really happy to see them back. Another weird thing, Rihanna performed for the second time in 8 years at a billionaire's wedding in India. So over an 8-year span, the two performances she's had were the Super Bowl and a billionaire's wedding in India. I'm glad, look, I love Rihanna. I'm glad I'm not a P1 listener of Rihanna, because that would be really frustrating to not see her in that long of a time. Not that she needs to tour, but Beyonce's still touring. Taylor Swift is touring. I mean, good on her, but that's just crazy, crazy. Also, at the time I'm recording this, which is the last week of March, Diddy is officially on the run. He took his private jet and flew it to some island somewhere out of the country. If you want to know more about those allegations, that entire story, you can go look that up. All right, let's get back to the music here and go to an artist I'm very excited to feature, and his name is DJ Swagger. Quite a name. And DJ Swagger put out his third solo album, Chemistry Forever, on March 22nd. Like I said, really excited to feature him. I'm just going to read his Spotify bio. It says, the 25-year-old from West Germany is pretty much the archetype of a so-called wonder kid. At his young age, the producer, DJ, multi-instrumentalist, and songwriter released more than 40 vinyl records, including 2 solo albums and endless rave tracks since turning 16. As of most recently, and even though coming from an electronic background, DJ Swagger's creative agenda ventured more and more into classic songwriting and taking over the role of lead vocalist of his one-man band. His third solo album, Chemistry Forever, that was just released, showcases his transformation from UK-influenced electronica towards neo-soul and indie without losing its listeners at any point. So, with that being said, we're going to check out the song Continuity off DJ Swagger's third album, Chemistry Forever.
Continuity. You're grinding 9 to 5 into infinity. Baby, don't you see? Or can't you see? I'm into thee. Oh, I'm so into you. I remember everything you said, but I gotta get out of my head. Moving by the stuff, feel the effect, yeah. You didn't even drown me out. I swear your eyes is way too loud. I don't know when to shut my mouth and how to work things out. Baby, I wish that I could call you mine. Lately, you've been running through my mind. Honey, It's an emergency. I'm running late for school, forgot my sanity. My batteries are down to fall with my self-esteem.
Not gonna lie, when I saw DJ Swagger, I did not expect that voice. Really awesome song continuity there from DJ Swagger off that new album. Really cool album in the sense of it has songs like that. He does have some of his electronic inspired songs on that project, so highly encourage you guys to go check that out. All right, let's go to the UK and go to the artist TTSSFU, who released the EP Me, Jed, and Andy at the very end of February, and we're going to check out the song Baggage off of that EP, and TTSSFU called in to introduce the track.
Hello, TTSSFU here. Thank you so much for featuring me on the Dot podcast. Really excited about that. To play my new song Baggage from my most recent EP, Me, Jed and Andy, and I hope you really enjoy it.
Maybe it's time for me to let go of this baggage. I've been holding onto for years, at least a decade. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. Do you know that I love you? Do you know that I love you? I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. Do you know that I love you? Do you know that I love you? I was just a kid when I grew up, ruined childhood, but we're at now, sit and cry. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. Do you know that I love you? Do you know that
Hey, this is Abigail Rose. Thank you so much for having me on the Dot. You're about to listen to my song Wake Me Up, that's a single off my EP Surprise Valley. Wake Me Up was actually the first song that me and my producer Mike Lohmeyer ever made together. At that point, we had been together as a couple for around 7 years, but had never created together before. We had just always been on our own paths and wanted to wait till it felt right. And it finally felt like time to at least try. So we packed up all our music equipment, drove to Joshua Tree, and set up a makeshift studio. Really, the only goal was to have fun and make something we loved listening to. So we went in with that intention, and Wake Me Up was born, which was a very cathartic song to create. It felt like a big release of built-up creative tension. And once we realized how much we loved making music together, this set us on quite the journey of making lots and lots of music that is all finally starting to come out, with the first piece being Surprise Valley, a 6-song EP. I am so proud of this music and so happy to finally share it. This is Wake Me Up.
people start leaving? It's the end of the season, but what if I wanna stay? 'Cause I'm fighting off these feelings. Do I need another reason to stop and run in place? Or what if I want to give up and just run away? Oh, you know I might just pick up and be gone one day. The TV's on, I wanna scream.
Rose right after TTSSFU. Love both those tracks. Love the chorus for Abigail Rose there. That's kind of oh shit moment in that song when the chorus hits. Really cool to hear the background about that track. Glad that it worked out between the two of them making music together. So really happy to have both TTSFU and Abigail Rose on the podcast this month. So let's go to Germany and to the band Pawn Painters, who released their debut album for us on March 8th. We're going to listen to the song Synthesizer Melody. I do want to give a shout out to their track Parcel Bash that I came across. I feel like it was a few months ago at this point, but it could have been only a few weeks ago. But it was such a cool song, and it was just this big build up to huge vocals, and it was special. It was a special track. Definitely go check that track out. Check out that whole album, and I'm going to throw it over to Bagel from Pawn Painters to introduce this song.
Hey there, this is Jakob Schmidt, aka Bagel from Pawn Painters. Thank you so much for having us on the dot. We are a young indie and post-punk band from a place called Schrobenhausen, which is located in the south of Germany. And our debut album just came out this March. So the song that you are about to hear is featured on the album, and it's called Synthesizer Melody. You could say Synthesizer Melody is pretty much our take on the disco genre. So you could say it's our spaced out version of a disco tune. On the one hand, it's got those classic disco ingredients like a steady drum beat and this really repetitive bass line that drives the song. And on the other hand, you've also got those, special Pawn Painters ingredients like those super far out and super expressive vocals and this quirky guitar that is so effects heavy that it almost sounds like a synthesizer. That's the name of the song. And everything just culminates in this really crazy polyrhythmic climax at the end, which we are really not all that sure about why it works the way it does, but it just works, I guess, and ends the song with this cool and groovy polyrhythm. So we hope you enjoy listening to Synthesizer Melody, and we're so thankful for being featured here on The Dot. This is really a huge honor for us. Thank you so much.
And I tried to warn you guys about those vocals. So good synthesizer melody, the single off their album that came out in March called Pawn Painters 1. Really cool album and really cool band. I'm excited to see and listen to more moving forward here. Let's go to Montreal, Canada, and to the duo Beatrix and Quinn that make up Diamond Day, who released their debut LP called Connect the Dots on February 29th. And this album was an interesting one to me. I thought it had a lot of good songs. I thought it was put together very nicely. And this song, Summerland, was the one that stood out to me. So I'm excited to share it with you all and then bring Beatrix on to the podcast to tell us a little bit about the song. But first, this is Diamond Day with their track, Summerland.
This is Beatrix from Diamond Day. Thanks for having us on the dot. Summerland is the 7th track on our new record, Connect the Dots. I wrote this one when I was in a phase of making songs very quickly. I remember being very excited about just a few lines that I had and a kind of soothing melody. So I made a quick demo which had a lot of different sections and melodies, and brought it to Quinn, and together we sort of expanded it into a very dramatic ballad. The whole track came together pretty fast. Everything was in place, and I think the mood and the tone was very obvious, except we couldn't finish the song because I couldn't complete the lyrics. I guess I couldn't match that excitement that was in my original verse and that got everything started. So we kind of had to pause on that and come back to it. And it's when we were watching Twin Peaks season 3, there's this one episode that really got me. It's a very abstract episode where the camera is just continuously zooming in to like these different spaces for like 20 minutes straight. And I just remember watching that and feeling the same way that I felt when I first had the idea for the song. I think it's that vertigo and that fear of getting lost that really resonated with me. I guess that's what the song is about, and that's what I ended up understanding about what I had already written, and that really helped me finish it. So, hope you like it.
Loved the ending of that song. Thank you to Beatrix for calling in and telling us about Summerland from Diamond Day's new LP that came out on February 29th. So just like that, we're over the 30-minute mark. I thought I was going to do a more in-depth rundown of album releases like we typically do, but I gave you guys a brief overview of the big albums that were released. So we are going to wrap up here. We started the episode out with Michael Marcagi, then we went to Scout, DJ Swagger, TTSSFU, Abigail Rose, Pawn Painters. We just heard Diamond Day, and we're going to get played out by the Swedish artist Therese Lithner, who released a single for us this past month called Slående Hjärtons, which translates to beating heart. And I really enjoyed this song. It's fully in Swedish, so a really cool song to play us out on this episode. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with me through another episode of The Dot. Hope you guys picked up some tracks that you really loved and can add into your playlists. Make sure to check out tour dates, see if any bands are coming to your areas so you can buy tickets and support the artists so they can keep making great music for us. And always remember,
it only happens once a month, so you must be on The Dot.